Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crochet College. Or, if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Mia, and I create beautiful crochet projects using natural fibers. To make this project today, I am using the following supplies. I am using a superwash merino wool. I actually have 2 skeins of this, and I'm going to be using 2 strands at the same time. I have a 5.5mm crochet hook. And on hand, I always have a yarn needle and a pair of scissors to make sure I can hide all my tails. An extra supply that I recommend you get if you don't already have is some measuring tape. This allows you to make your project exactly the size you need it to be. And I have this cute custom embellishment that I purchased off Etsy. The links to get all of these supplies are linked in the description box down below, as well as a link to the written pattern. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel so you'll be the first to know when I come out with a new video, tutorial, or pattern. So with all of that said, let's get started. So like I already said, I will be using 2 strands of worsted weight yarn to create this project today. Alternatively, if you don't want to use 2 strands, you can use any bulky yarn to create this project. The first thing I do is start with a slip knot and insert my hook. I plan on adding a pom-pom at the end of this hat, so I'm going to make sure I chain 3 and then slip stitch back to join, so this way I have a good sized hole to work into. I'm going to be working through the center of my chain loop. I start the first round by chaining 2 and working 12 double crochets right through the center of my circle. Like I said, I started with a chain 3 circle, but if you want to use a magic ring, that's also perfectly fine. So I'm going to work those 12 double crochets right through the center of my circle. I've worked those 12 double crochets all the way around, and now I'm ready to slip stitch to join. To do that, I go into the second chain from that chain 2 that we started with, right in the top, and slip stitch. I do not count that chain 2 as a stitch. From here, I'm going to continue working up a flat circle for 4 rounds. If you already know how to do that, you can skip ahead. If not, hang out with me and I'll show you how. To begin round 2, I chain 2, and I'm going to work an increase into that first stitch. An increase is simply working 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So I'm increasing by 1. I'm going to continue working 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around, totaling in 24 double crochets. Once I finish working those 24 double crochets, I am going to slip stitch to join the same way we did from the previous round. Now I'm ready to begin round 3. I begin this round by chaining 2 and working an increase into my first stitch. So working 2 double crochets right into that first stitch. Next, I will work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. I will continue this pattern of increase, regular double crochet. So 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, all the way around, totaling in 36 double crochets. Once I've worked all of those stitches around and I've slip stitched to join, I am ready to begin round 4. Round 4 is my final round of increases. I begin by chaining 2 and working an increase into that first stitch. So 2 double crochets right into that first stitch. Next, I will work a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. I will continue that pattern of 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, all the way around, totaling in 48 stitches. Once I've completed completed round 4, my project measures just about 5.5 inches across. To begin round 5, I will chain 2, and I'm going to work a double crochet through the back loop of each stitch. So I'm not working through the whole top of the stitch like we did the previous rounds, and I'm not working through that front loop. Instead, I'm going to come right on back to that back loop and work each of my double crochets. I'm working no increases this round, so I will simply be working 1 double crochet in the back loop of each stitch all the way around. I'll meet you there. After I've made my way all the way around using the back post double crochets, I'm going to chain 2 to begin round 6. For round 6, I will be alternating between puff stitches and double crochets. The first puff stitch that I will be working, I skip my first stitch and create a double crochet into the next stitch. After this, I will yarn over, insert my hook into that first stitch that I skipped, yarn over and pull through and up a loop. I'll do that again, yarn over, insert my hook, pull through and up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook, pull through and up a loop. I'm going to do one more. Yarn over, insert my hook, and pull up a loop. So for my puff, I did that a total of 4 times of that yarning over and pulling through. Next, I'll yarn over once and just pull through all of those loops on my hook to create this nice fluffy puff stitch. I will then work not into the next stitch where that double crochet had been worked on an angle. Instead, I will work in the following stitch a double crochet. And I'm going to continue working that sequence all the way around, so let me show you just one more time. I'm going to skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the following stitch. Then I will yarn over and work a puff stitch into the previous stitch. I did those yarn over, pull up a loop 4 times. Then I will yarn over and pull through all of those loops on my hook. So I've made another little bobble there. And not into the next stitch where I had a previous double crochet worked on an angle. In the following stitch, I will work a double crochet. So I'm going to keep making all these little bobbles all the way around, and I will meet you guys at the end of this round. Once I've slip stitched to join that round, it's very clear how the shape of this hat is starting to form. Next, I begin round 7 by chaining 2 just to get up to height, yarning over, and working a half double crochet through the back loop of each stitch. So if you've never worked a half double crochet before, you yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up 1 loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So I'm going to continue working 1 half double crochet in the back loop of each stitch all the way around. I'll meet you guys there. Once I've slip stitched to join round 7, the hat has really come into its own shape there. I'm going to continue working repeats of rounds 6 and 7 till I work my body up to whatever my desired length is, minus 2 inches for the brim. So I want to make sure I still have room for my brim. So I'm going to begin working those repeats of rounds 6 and 7 now, and I'll meet you guys once you have worked up your hat to your desired size. I repeated rows 6 and row 7 2 times, so this way I could have a beautiful body of my hat. After I worked those repeats, my body currently measures roughly 6 inches. I want my brim of the hat to be about 2 inches. So as I'm ready to start my brim, I'm going to chain however long I want that brim to be. After you finish chaining to length, the next step I'm going to do is chaining 1 to turn. I'm now going to begin working up the brim of the hat along the edge of the body. So I will work 1 single crochet into each stitch along the brim. Once I've single crocheted the length of the brim, or I guess the width of the brim, I will slip stitch into the next 2 stitches along the body and turn my work. Now from here, I will work 1 single crochet in each stitch across the brim of the hat. For row 3 of the brim, I will chain 1 and turn and work 1 single crochet in the back loop of each stitch all the way across. Once I make my way back to the body, I will slip stitch into the next 2 stitches along the body, turn my work, and repeat rows 2 and rows 3 all the way around the body. Once I've made my way all the way around the brim, this project is nearly finished. However, I do need to seam up this brim. So to seam the brim, I will chain 1, and then I will be working slip stitches through the back loop of each stitch from the previous round and the foundation chain. So I will just be slip stitching my way all the way down the brim. And once I get to the top, I will finish off my work. And then using a yarn needle, I am going to hide those tails. Once I've hidden those tails, the final step for me is to add some embellishments. So I'm going to add my custom tag, and I will add the pom-pom, which I just attach using a wooden button. Once my pom-pom and my embellishment are attached, I consider this project to be finished.